What's up, XDefiant fans? It is Preach as always. Today's video is going to be a little bit less objective. Today, we are going to be more passionate about something because there seems to be a gigantic lack of understanding within the XDefiant player base, and Call of Duty 2 for that matter, on what it means to, quote, play the objective. And I want to explain this and rant to you guys at the same time. So normally my videos are a little bit more objective than this, but hopefully you guys will stick around for this particular video. There are many facets to this, so don't hear my first point and then comment down below telling me I forgot something until you have listened all the way through. Then if I did forget something, please let me know. I don't claim to be perfect, but I do my best to own when I am wrong. But I don't think I am here. So strap in for this ride we are about to go on. But before we do, if you guys like this video, you already know what to do. Smash that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new here, and turn those bell notifications on if you want to know every time I post a new video. So let's make something very clear here right off the bat. XDefiant is not Call of Duty. Let me repeat that. XDefiant is not Call of Duty. Yes, there are a ton of similarities, but it is not the same thing, and Call of Duty fans need to quit trying to make this game Call of Duty. Please. It's not. Just stop. If you want to play COD, then go play COD instead. XDefiant is its own game and doesn't need to become something that already exists. Those features you want, they exist in that game. All of these things that you want to have exist in Call of Duty. Go play Call of Duty then. If you want the XDefiant experience, though, that's what I'm here for to talk about on this channel, and that's what we're going to go into. One of the biggest differences between XDefiant and Call of Duty is that every single game mode within XDefiant is an objective-based game mode. Whether that means escorting a package, dominating a set of stationary points, controlling map zones, occupying hard points, or being the hotshot token collector, every mode has an objective that goes beyond kills and deaths. Of course, Call of Duty has most of these modes, but Team Deathmatch has long been the driving mode of public playlists, and most people who play other modes honestly just use the objective to have an excuse to have more time to gather more kills. XDefiant doesn't reward kills in the same way that Call of Duty does, but rather encourages good teamwork and objective-based gameplay. It wants you to go for the win. Wild concept, huh? Which is something most people quit caring about in Call of Duty years ago. The corner camping, not helping your team try to win, doing everything you can to improve your kill-death ratio regardless of the expense to your team, is just not how XDefiant was designed to be played. Now, I hear you. Kills on the map do keep enemies off of objectives, but not always. If the enemy team has 4 players on the objective and you are off in a corner, repeatedly killing the 2 players who are not anywhere near the objective, you are essentially doing nothing. Now, there is a huge caveat to this, and that is one of the primary things that I feel like is misunderstood by a vast majority of players. Your, quote, objective score is not the only thing that determines whether you are a good teammate or even whether you are an objective player. And a lot of kills with a low objective score doesn't instantly mean that you aren't helping your team. And I'm going to explain how you can be a slayer, as they might call it, in like a competitive Call of Duty setting, and still be contributing to the success of the objective on behalf of your team. The mode I want to focus in on this to best explain this within XDefiant is the Occupy game mode. Occupy works nearly identically to Hardpoint in Call of Duty. The idea is to hold or control the Occupy zone for as much of the 60 seconds it is available as possible, and then rotate to the next Occupy zone as it pops up on the map, going for a final score to help you win the game. Your team score is ticked up by seconds holding the zone and does not increase by having more than one person holding the zone. One of the best ways to play this mode is to have one person on the zone and the rest pushed out, or forcing the enemies to spawn as far away as possible and engaging the enemies in gunfights before they ever get to the zone, while also trying to hold the spawns closest to the current zone and then fighting to win spawns for the next zone. When your teammate inside of the zone dies, somebody can step in and fill their place. Or ideally, with a team that communicates well, as someone pushes it from behind off of the close spawn, as they get to the zone, the teammate that is on it can push up and engage enemies prior to the zone, and you rotate this as players die and respawn, bumping each other on the zone and repeating this over and over and over again. In public matches with no communication, if a teammate is on the zone, I will play near the zone and get kills to help keep them safe. It does no good for us to both be on the zone. And when they inevitably step off of the zone to chase kills themselves, I will then step on, keeping our scoring consistent while teammates prevent the enemy from getting to me. This gives your team the best chance to collect the most points or score and win the game, and it usually only involves having one of your 6 players on the zone at any given time. It is important to pay attention to what your team currently needs. If the zone needs protection and you've got the gunny, get out in front and slay out. But if the teammates can't get to the zone, be the guy willing to sacrifice some personal stats to help secure a win. In domination, it is important to note that the flags do capture faster the more teammates that are on it. But once it is captured, standing on the zone does you no good. The goal is to prevent the enemy from even reaching it again. In escort, the package moves faster the more players that are on it, but it can also be useful to get ahead of the package and try to keep the path clear of enemies for your teammates that are escorting. This ridiculous back and forth argument of what is more important, kills or objective score, is not simply an either or answer. It is both, but the kills need to come from a playstyle that benefits the team's ultimate goal of winning the game. Stop trying to play Call of Duty Team Deathmatch. That is not how XDefiant was designed. On the same note, though, stop yelling at your 60 kill teammate for not playing the objective. They probably kept you safe while you were on it. Ultimately, play to your strengths, play to win the game, and stop crying on Twitter or X or whatever else it is called, please. That's going to wrap up my rant. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a little bit different than usual, but if you did, you already know what to do. Smash that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new here, and turn those bell notifications on if you want to know every time I post a new video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Preach out.